G'day, Oscar.
G'day. Whoa, that was long.
Yeah, I know. But it's been a long and drawn out season.
Mate, it has.
But we are finally here. This is the grand final episode of the Offload. We're going to talk about the ladies and the men's game and give the punters a few tips for how we see both those games going.
We certainly are.
Let's start with the NRLW, the Chookies and the Sharks.
Yeah.
The Roosters are $1.33 favourites to Cronulla's $3.35.
They are.
Talk to me about this, mate. What are you seeing?
Yeah, well, hopefully the punters didn't follow me too closely last week because I was very keen on the Broncos and very, very keen on the Knights. Broncos best attacking team in the comp, scored 6 points last week. Cronulla superb defensively. And then the Roosters did what they've done all year, which is just bash and bully teams out of the contest. Tamika Upton didn't get many chances at a set defensive line. And East's performance last week was best highlighted by Captain Isabel Kelly, who looked like she dislocated her elbow the week before. Harks back to Mal Meninga wearing that arm guard that looked like a small tree. That tree that knocked out Paul Kent, I think it was. Izzy's arm looked like a leg. She couldn't bend it. She played 70 minutes, carried for, I think, a team high run meter score. So, yeah, that encapsulates what the Chooks did last week. They're just such a big, aggressive, physical side. I think they deserve to be favourites here. If you took Cronulla at $6 like we tipped them about a month ago, you're going to be feeling very happy about yourself right now.
Yep.
Working their way into the grand final. I think there is a well that they can win as well. They've probably got more repeatable actions in attack, particularly through young 5'8", Georgia Hannaway, who's been probably the rookie of the year this season, a real find for the Sharkies. Looking for Cronulla to send their attack through her down their left edge. So Tiana Penatani is their left centre. They play a lot of ball towards her direction when they get into attacking field position. So I like Tiana for the Sharks, but yeah, it's all about the Chookies here for me. I think fullback Sam Bremner, who was 3 years retired, I think, if I've got my numbers right, came out of retirement in the preseason this year when the Roosters lost Corbin Baxter. So an incredible effort, one of the best stories of the NRLW season this year. Sammy had a double last week, did some really good work supporting on the inside of Jocelyn Kelleher. So I like Sam Bremner to score for the Chooks here as well.
We've just actually got the markets updated while we were recording this.
Good timing.
So Samantha Bremner, $2.90, and it was Penatani that you liked as well. She's $3.10.
Yeah, beautiful.
Hard to look past Isabel Kelly or Jess Surgis for me. You're getting $2.20, $2.60 for the likes of them.
Yeah, just got to see. Jess Surgis is also carrying an injury. She came off the bench last week and played in the back row. So a couple of different looks for the Roosters there. But yeah, I mean, they're always go-to players for the Roosters attack.
With the line set at 9.5 for this one, do you think the Sharkies can keep it close?
Yeah, I like that line for Cronulla. I'm probably going to take Roosters 1-12. So yeah, that line's a friendly one for the Sharks if you think they're a chance.
Very nice. So that kicks off before the Blokes do.
It does. 3 o'clock, I think, on Sunday. I'll be at the new Cass in Brisbane. Come say good day.
Good to know. All right, let's talk about the big dance.
Yep.
Melbourne Storm versus Penrith Panthers. At the time of record, the Storm are actually favourites.
By a couple of cents?
Yeah, it is a couple of cents, but favourites nonetheless. It's $1.90 to $1.95.
Well, I think Ivan very deliberately said that Melbourne would be favourites in his post-match press conference last week. So some tactical battles going on between the coaches already.
I think we're going to be on two opposite sides here.
Yeah, you like Penrith?
Oh, yeah, I can't believe it. It's almost like we've swapped roles here. But how do the Melbourne Storm beat this Penrith powerhouse dynasty super team? Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
I love the narrative for Melbourne coming into this one, and I've got no idea what sort of camp Craig Bellamy runs, but I'm guessing that they're going to tap into this a little bit. The last time these sides met in a grand final was in 2020.
Yep.
Melbourne beat Penrith 26-20 in that game. Since the only players surviving for Melbourne from that 2020 grand final is Pappenhausen, Munster, Hughes, and Christian Welch.
No Harry Grant.
It says here Cameron Smith and then Brandon Smith on the bench.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was that might have been
he would have been
Harry was at the Tigers.
Yep.
So for Melbourne, who've been the best team consistently in the NRL for our lifetime, for them to come back from that win, turn over almost an entirely new roster of players, and then get back to another grand final 4 years later, to verse the same team that they knocked out last time. I think that's one hell of a narrative. Speaks volumes about what Belly's been able to do as a coach down there. Really fizzing for this one. I think Melbourne can just do what they've done all season. They work out of their back end cleanly. Jerome Hughes is making some really nice options at the end of sets to finish their sets in the right areas on the field. And then we've spoken all season about the variety that Melbourne threatened with. Harry Grant behind the ruck, Ken Munster on the left, Jerome Hughes on the right with Eli Katoa, who we're going to talk about in a little bit, and then Ryan Pappenhausen, who there was a bit of chat on social media about him not being as quick as he used to be.
He's fine.
Mate, he's still one of the quickest in the comp, over 20 metres. And what he does for their defensive line when defending on their own line is still a massively underrated part of Pappy's game. So, I think Melbourne are... I think the market's got it right. I think it's even Stevens for this one.
It's Penrith for me, and I can't believe I'm saying that. I really want it to be Melbourne, but watching them play the Sharks the other day, the way they absorbed pressure and then just flicked a switch and put points on, it was almost like they were toying with Cronulla.
I completely agree with you. The only counter I think to that is we've seen Penrith do that so many times through Nathan. They'll defend 6 sets on their line. Good example. Nathan clicks a 40-20, and then Nathan throws a double cutout on a lead shape to put Paul Alamotti over, right?
He's done it a million times.
Clutch. I think Melbourne will feel that they've also had that ability to soak up pressure and then march down the other end of the field and score. The difference for me is that Melbourne score down the other end of the field through 3 or 4 different avenues. So, it's not as easy as just marking up Cleary and stopping him from doing anything because he's still he's the most clutch player in the comp. But Melbourne are similar in the sense that they can soak up pressure and then they'll get you when presented an opportunity. So, it's going to be a tight one, I think.
Am I changing my tip after that? No, I'm going to stick with Penrith. Like, there was just moments in that Cronulla game where I was like, 4 in a row's looked in. Like, it's just, sorry, Melbourne. Let's talk. Let's go anytime try scorers first.
I think we both found Liam Martin. You liked him.
Well, I actually like Liam Martin for first try scorer.
For first?
But we'll talk about that in a little bit.
I don't hate it. I think Cleary's going to probably target the spaces around Sean Bloor and Jack Howarth.
Yep.
When you're looking at Melbourne's roster, those are probably 2 of the least experienced, certainly the least experienced in finals games. I'd probably be targeting that area of the field if I'm the Panthers. So for that reason, I like Liam Martin or Isaac Tungo to scores anytime.
Yeah, they are the 2 that I've also landed on, but I'm going to get a bit fruity. I'm taking Liam Martin first try scorer, $23.
Yeah, nice.
Have you got a first try scorer for us?
I'll take Tungo then. Yeah,
I think Tungo's $19 as well, just quietly.
Yeah, I think it's going to come from that area of the field, and rather than back or winger, we'll look for a bit of value in that back row or right centre.
Anytime try scorers, obviously those 2, I agree with you. Yep. I don't think you can look past Jerome Hughes, especially in the form that he's in.
Yes, and the man next to him. Eli Katoa, arguably the best back rower in the competition this year on both sides of the ball. He's a hell of a defensive player, but he's running some mean lines. He's an aerial target. He'll support back on the inside if Hughes makes a little line break or a little offload assist. So, I think there's probably a bit of value in Ellie there as well.
You're getting $320 for Eli Katoa and $335 for Jerome Hughes. Let's discuss the Clive Churchill medal. If you're on the Storm, I'm assuming that there's a Melbourne player there that revs your tractor.
Yeah, Hughes is the obvious one. $5, I think he is, as of Tuesday afternoon, which is probably fair enough. I think JYY really liked Cam Munster.
Yep.
Harry Grant is another shout. I'm going to lean towards Ryan Pappenhausen as my saver for the Clive Churchill. I just think he was so involved last week on both sides of the ball. The risk, I guess, with Munster and Hughes is often it can be one or the other, as we've seen over the last few weeks. Well, not last week. They both scored doubles from memory. But generally speaking, if Hughes is on fire, then Munster takes a back seat or vice versa. Pappy's everywhere all the time on both sides of the ball as well. So, I like Pappenhausen there. What's he paying?
Ryan Pappenhausen is paying $13.
Yeah, nice. That's good.
Now, I think Nathan Cleary is the obvious answer. He's $5.
Yep.
The shoulder concerns me ever so slightly. All it takes is one bad tackle.
Yep.
And if that happens, I think Jerome Luai has to stand up and lead this team around the park. And so I'm probably leaning towards Luai for Clive Churchill here at $17.
17. That's not bad. What's Dylan Edwards paying?
Dylan Edwards is $11. He's done it before.
And He's saved 2 40-20s in 2 finals games this series. Saved Sandon Smith's attempt last week. Saved Braden Trindle's attempt. Sandon Smith's in week 1, Braden Trindle's last week, and then Cleary kicked one himself not too long after on both occasions. I'm so impressed with what Dill's been able to do and what he's able to turn his game into. So, yeah, I'll probably lean towards him as my value Panthers Clive Churchill.
Very nice. All right. Where are you watching it from on Sunday?
Casino, hopefully. Huge. Perched up with a nice cold beer and some friends, if I can find any. What about you, mate? You're going down.
I will be there.
Nice.
So, first time ever been to a game in Sydney. Yeah. It's going to be the grand final.
In the stadium this time.
Fingers crossed.
Go Storms.
For the final time this year, Oscar.
Yes.
This has been the Offload.
Thanks, mate.
Until next year.
Let's eat.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website